Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Happy Taco Tuesday. You guys see the title once again. We have to talk about Ben Simmons. It's just becoming redundant at this point, but we're going to do it again. I have an awkward surprise for you because I'm going to introduce the Fumble Squad right now. And it's just me. It's your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic. Chris had an emergency, so he cannot make it onto the show. So we're going to not be here that long, but it's just going to be me and you. We're going to talk about this together. Mike Glock, I already see you in the chat asking if we had technical difficulties. Sorta. And so now here I am. Make sure you talk to me in the chat because it's just going to be me and you, but we've done this before, so we'll get through it together. So let's just jump right into our first need to know news because I definitely want to see what you guys think about this one. Because for me personally, when I think of big men, I think about LeBron James, who is 6'9", 250 pounds. I think about Dwight Howard, who's 6'10", 265. Oddly enough, though, Dwight looks bigger than that in person. Dwight looks like a superhero in person. I've stood next to him before. I haven't had the opportunity to stand right next to LeBron yet, but Dwight is massive. Anthony Davis is 6'10", 253 pounds. These are the big men in the league to me, but they were also smaller at one point, and I've always thought of them as big men. I remember a scrawny AD. I remember a skinny LeBron. So obviously you do bulk up. But my question is going to be, are we slowly moving away from the big men era in the NBA? This is a question we've had on this show before. I hate the thought of moving away from the big man because I love that type of basketball. I love the aggressive basketball. I love bully ball. That's the basketball I grew up on. It's what I like. So seeing the big man die away would not be fun for me. But we do have to look at a lot of it's smaller ball. It's been smaller ball since Steph took over. Jeremiah, if you're in the chat, I know you love to hear that. But it's just kind of been the era that we're moving to. So now we have Miles. I don't think I view Miles as a person who's not that big. But we remember when Joker lost weight. I think the weight loss looks great on Joker. But let me show you this first asset really quickly of Miles. Now, Miles Turner's out here talking about that he's losing weight. So his top weight in April was 280 pounds. He had 14% body fat. By the end of September, he's 255 pounds, 8.5% body fat. He says the offseason went well. This is injury weight, though. Do you guys remember when he had that big toe injury that took him out, I think the last part of the season? And then he's just been chilling. This is injury weight. Those top two pictures are not what I'm used to seeing him at. So I don't know if I'm going to give him like the whole, oh, yeah, you've been transformed, as much as I'm going to say good job for losing that injury weight. I do like what this user had to say about finding those diet tips, because he says, congratulations. I hope you have the best season yet, but I'm going to need those diet and workout tips. And Ducey says, step one, get in the NBA where you have the world's best trainers and dietitians at your fingertips without ever paying a dime for their services. As a matter of fact, you get paid to use them. That was my first thought looking at those top two pictures. I was like, you know what? I've been gaining some weight. I could use those diet tips, but he's absolutely right. We just not going to have access to that. So let me show you this next one, because King's De'Aaron Fox, he's 6'3" right now. He's listed, he's saying he's 197, but even though he's listed at 185, so I don't know if they've updated his weight yet. But he's already small, so he's only like 6'3", so bulking up for him doesn't mean anything. But I want us to take a listen on what he's saying he wants to do as far as bulking up. So take a listen.
You'd like to be?
From like the weight that I want to be? Or
yeah.
I mean, at some point in my, playing career, I would like to play like over, 200, something like that. I'm like 197-ish right now. So I'm almost 30 pounds up from where I was at the combine. And as I've gotten stronger, I feel like I've gotten faster, more explosive, things like that. So it's nothing that's ever weighed me down. It's made shooting the ball, a lot easier, being stronger. But I mean, that a lot of it just came with time. I mean, I've always been strong, for my weight, but just putting the weight on was kind of difficult. But as I've gotten older, it's been easier for me to put weight on. So.
First of all, that's just life. As you get older, it's easier to put weight on, harder to take it off. And my Glock, I see you in the chat, because I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, I know he's listed at 6'3", But I've seen De'Aaron, and I'm not entirely sure. Mike Glock in the chat says he's 6'1" max. I feel like that's true. Small ball for sure in that one. I think he's just, trying to get to, y'all dream big in your head sometimes. But let me go to his teammate as well, Tyrese Halliburton. Now, he's 6'5". That's what he's listed at. And I think he's a solid 6'5". He's listed at 185. But he told Jason Anderson he wants to get up to 195. So he says Kings guard Tyrese Halliburton says he has put on about 10 pounds. He has worked on his ball handling and finishing with both hands, and he wants to get to the free throw line more this season. So here becomes the question. We know that Joker slimmed down, which is weird to me because at one point Joker said he wasn't comfortable playing at a lighter weight. He just didn't feel like his body moved right. He wasn't used to being lighter. And now we see him doing the opposite. He's trying to slim down. He's trying to get that muscle mass, which I think is great because I think that muscle mass will help you later in your career. But he's slimming down. So do we think that the massive LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard, do we think that type of player is going to fade to the wayside? Do we think it's just not going to be a thing anymore? It's going to be about being smaller, faster, stronger? Or are we going to, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because at some point, yes, LeBron is starting to slowly age out, but you're going to get a younger big kid. I don't know if Zion is going to step up and be that for us, but there's something to be said about your weight because you just can't move through that. When you're an unmovable force, this little guy that's lying about his height and he's actually 6'1" when he's saying he's 6'3", he's going to have a hard time getting through you. So I'm going to say that no, the big man is not going to fade away. I don't want the big man to fade away because that's my favorite type of basketball. So that's just what I'm going to say. I don't see anybody else in the chat say, oh, well, Julio says, unfortunately, the big man player is gone. The game has changed so much. It's so much faster. It is faster. I guess I'm just wondering, I think a big man can be faster. I know that's why Jokic wants to slim down because he moves very slowly, very sluggishly. I don't even know if he has sped up now that he's lost some weight. We'll have to kind of see. But that's definitely one of those things. And then Mike Glock agrees with me. He says, nah, there's going to be big men in the future. Thank you, Mike Glock, because I was going to be so disappointed if all of y'all in the chat just thought we was going to do away with the big men. No, absolutely. We need the big man to that's the paint. You're supposed to live in the paint. That's where they're supposed to be. Ty agrees with me, says block shots and rebounds are still major parts of the game. So I agree. I'm glad we all think that the way of the big man is still a thing. So with that, let's move into our next need to know news. Because this one, y'all saw the title. Here we are again. Ben Simmons. Raise your hand in the chat if you're tired of Ben Simmons being a thing. I'm not tired of the 76ers. I'm tired of Ben Simmons and this narrative. And I don't know who I'm more mad at about this narrative. I don't know if I'm just as mad at the 76ers for prolonging this and asking this ridiculous price for him. If I'm mad at Ben Simmons for being the diva that he is without actually having the clout to be the diva that he is. I don't know who I'm more mad at, but I'm definitely mad. So I'm thinking that these practice videos are going to just continue to come because Ben Simmons is sticking by his word and he's done with the 76ers. So John Clark posted this to his Twitter. Says, I'm told 76ers are expecting Ben Simmons will stick to his word and not show up for training camp when it starts next week. So here's the problem with that, in my opinion. And this is the same thing I said about James Harden. You guys know that I like James Harden. I don't feel anything for Ben Simmons. I don't like him. He gets on my nerves, but I don't feel anything for him. But the same thing I said with James Harden. You look bad. You make it harder for your agent to navigate this trading space when you can't even act professional in this situation. Now, James Harden had it a little easier because he's James Harden. You can't be the leading scorer in the league time and time again, have all these triple doubles, and it be that hard. People just expect, okay, well, he's James Harden. He's acting like a douche right now, but it's fine. But when you're Ben Simmons and year after year, your stats are declining, I think that the one thing you can fall back on is your professionalism. Like, I'm still going to go in there. I'm still going to do the work. But I don't want to play with this team. And you can be vocal about that and it's fine. But when you decide to say, hey, I know I signed this contract. I know that I'm only on the second year of this 5-year deal, but I said what I said and I'm not coming. I think when you do that, you put yourself in a horrible situation. So I don't really like what he's doing here. The 76ers want him to report because they say it's no way that they're backing down. They're not going to lower their price for him. And so the only way that they can help raise his stock value is for him to show up and prove that he can actually do what he does in these practice videos. I apologize for laughing. It's just, we see this every single season with these damn practice videos and then him not doing those in a game. So the question is, who bends first? Is it going to be the 76ers that say, okay, screw it, we're just going to lower our price just to get him out? Or is it going to be Ben who's going to say, okay, I'm going to show up because obviously I need to prove myself? So let me show you this next tweet. I think I have one more. Yeah, so it says, this person is a 76ers fan, and he says, basically, good riddance. He says, so what, fine him, and that's when he will start losing money and doesn't get his other $8 million owed in October. Then he will have no choice but to report. It's not what he wants. He signed a contract, so he has to deal with it. That was our sentiment with James Harden as well. You signed a contract, deal with it. Houston has all the cards in their favor. But ultimately, Houston got rid of him because a disgruntled James Harden damages your franchise. A disgruntled Ben Simmons, I don't know how that damages your franchise. You literally can be petty and hold out indefinitely in this situation because you can still build without him. And like that user said, if he wants to lose money, if he's okay to lose money, then that's fine. Go ahead and lose that money. You know, it doesn't mean anything to this organization per se, because you need a favor from us. We don't need a favor from you. We've been asking you to step up your game and you haven't done it. So we can hold out. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that Ben Simmons is going to end up sitting out this year and not getting any money, but I don't think the 76ers are going to get what they're asking for him. Justin says, wouldn't trade two second rounders for him. Damn. Sorry, that took me back for a second. Not even 2 second rounders? He also says he ain't ever getting out at this point. And that's the risk you run. You don't even know at this point. There's too much game tape on Ben Simmons for me as the president of basketball operations to sit down and say, you know what, I think if I give this kid a shot, he's going to be different with us. There's just too much tape on him at this point. The only way that Ben Simmons can really improve his trade stock is to go out there and do what we say he can't do. Do in those practice videos in an actual game. But I don't know how else you raise your stock. Ty says, y'all gonna stop playing with Ben Watch. Yeah, we are. We're going to stop playing with him entirely. He's going to end up sitting on the bench. The league is going to move on without him. And then he's going to end up going to some place he doesn't want that's not in California, like he said. He's putting himself in a bad situation because what's going to happen is the 76ers are going to move on without him and he's going to be fine. That's going to drop his trade stock some more. And then what is he going to do, Ty? What's he going to do? The 76ers hold all the cards in their favor. I don't know. I don't know about this Ben Simmons situation. I think that this is an unfortunate situation and he needs to do better. I mean, if he wants to sit out, I'm not mad at him. You know, hold your own. But the 76ers don't owe you anything. And I think that's the point that he's missing. They don't owe you anything. You signed a contract with them. They didn't sign a contract with you. They hold all the cards. So y'all let me know in the chat. I'll probably circle back and get some of your thoughts on this Ben Simmons situations. But I do want to say it as well. What about his teammates? Should they be upset? Because that was one of the things that we said with James Harden. At least I said. I wasn't really mad at James Harden for holding out. I was mad when he said, okay, there's a lack of talent on that team. Ben hasn't said that. But basically what he said is, I'm going to put y'all in an awkward position because I'm not going to come and play. The whole narrative around the team is going to be about me, regardless of what happens. Every single game we play, it's going to be, what's Ben Simmons going to do? Is he going to come back? That's going to create a certain amount of animosity between him and his teammates. So then if he does come back, how are they going to overcome that? It's just like my dad always said, at the end of the day, if you got to be a ditch digger, be the best ditch digger you can be. If you got to play on a team that you don't want to play on it to the best of your ability so you can move on to a better situation. I don't think that this is going to work out in his favor. I think this is going to work out 100% for the 76ers. Ty said, but when they started trying to trade him, it was a wrap. Okay, so Ty, since it seems to be me and you, I need you to answer this question for me. As an organization, what am I supposed to do? If I had 2018 Ben Simmons, who we all can agree was dope Ben Simmons. And each year since then, not only has he declined, at some point we have to admit that this Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons situation doesn't work. The person who has stepped up is Joel Embiid, not Ben Simmons. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to hang on to this mistake that I made forever? I don't understand why I would do that. And now you mad at us because you can't do what you're supposed to do. The man is toxic. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say right now. He's created a level of toxicity on that team that he has to own that. He has to be responsible for that, and he needs to know that that's what happened. E-Ray says, Ben Simmons for CJ straight. CJ a much better fit for Embiid. I agree with that, but that's not what the 76ers want. It's not going to be a straight swap. The 76ers want everything for Ben. They still believe in 2018 Ben, and they're asking what they should have asked for Ben in 2018. So I don't think that that's going to happen like that. I don't think it can ever be a straight swap. I do think there are some situations where Ben Simmons would be better, because I think once you get that clean slate, maybe whatever mental blocks he has, those will go away. So I do think a move would be beneficial for Ben, and I think a move would be beneficial for the 76ers. I just don't think that Ben Simmons has a card to play right now. I think he needs to man up, put his big boy pants on, and realize he hasn't played right, and go in there and prove to the entire league that he's worth all this noise that he's making. That's what I think. But we're going to move on to this, what we not going to do. If y'all got more thoughts on that, let me know. I'll try to circle back. But let's get into this next one, because we talk a lot about this young lady. And I just want to say that off top, I like Shikari Richardson. I've always liked her. I love the FloJo comparison. I think she's I think she will be eventually an amazing person. And I think that she is going to be eventually a fantastic athlete. I think there's, again, and I kind of mentioned this with Ben Simmons, I think there's a certain level of there's a mental block, or maybe even it's mental trauma that's holding her back right now. And I think that for her, once she gets over that, it'll be night and day difference. But I just want to make sure everybody knows I'm definitely rooting for Shikari. I've been rooting for Shikari since she smoked that weed. Regardless of everybody else saying, oh, she was wrong for doing that, I understand that. But I also personally understand how it feels to lose a parent, and how you can spiral very quickly. So if the only thing she spiraled down to was some weed, I'm a rock with it. I wasn't mad at that at all. So now I just want to get into her in this situation as well, because she seems to, and a lot of you guys do this as well, because I feel like every Shikari Richardson video that we've done, a lot of people come into the chat and say, oh, you guys are just haters. You guys are haters. You guys are haters. I'm going to need y'all to understand there is a huge difference between hate and criticism. And I think maybe that's where a lot of people are missing it. If I tell you, yo, you need to shut up and focus on your race because you are a track runner who came in dead last, that's not hate. That's criticism that if you take it and you internalize it, it can make you better. Criticism and hate are not the same thing. And you need to be able to take criticism regardless of what field you're in so you can become better. It's not the same thing. That's the first thing that I need y'all to understand, because I feel like if you don't, it's going to be a difficult few minutes for you. But before I get into all that, I do want to show you how much I'm not going to hate on Miss Shikari. My Glock, I didn't lose both my parents. I lost my dad in December of 2015. So that's why I'm saying I understand I'm not even going to go into how I spiraled. So if weed is all this child did, I am okay with that. But let me show you this first picture, because stunning. This is my favorite picture of this woman. I don't know if you saw, she posted this on her Instagram. This is her first ever Met Gala. I love this. She looks absolutely beautiful. She also posted her glam squad that they were getting her ready. Go to her Instagram. It's great to see. One of the reasons why I do not like the Met Gala, and I know I'm one of the few people, I hate the Met Gala. People come in the weirdest stuff. Kim Kardashian came in a tight-fitting bees outfit. I hate the Met Gala, because just because you can wear it don't mean you should. But she looks amazing here, and I love this moment for her because she is a beautiful woman, and I think she's beautiful inside and out. She's just having some struggles right now. But I think with Shikari, she's not able to hear somebody like myself say, oh my God, Shikari, you look so beautiful in this moment. However, Usain Bolt is right. she's just going to automatically default to hate. And I have the receipts to prove that she's always going to fall to, oh, y'all are just hating on me. Because Usain Bolt, y'all know who he is, right? The man who's won 8 Olympic gold medals. So he was talking to the New York Post, and he didn't say anything crazy. All he said was Shikari needs to train harder and be focused and not say too much. If you talk that big talk, you have to back it up. So just train hard and focus on that, and try not to come and try to come back and do it and then talk about it. He also kind of alluded to, the more you talk, the more fire you're lighting under some Jamaicans. So facts. I just know that every Jamaican, because I've seen it. I've seen people who aren't even running track, but they're Jamaican. Every time Shikari posts something, there's a Jamaican in her post saying, but did you win though? And those Jamaican track runners, they're doing the same thing. Every time Shikari says something out of pocket, that's 2 more seconds they're going to beat you by. Just go out there and just train. Don't give the Jamaicans more fuel to their fire. They already smoked you. Don't give more fuel to that fire. It doesn't make sense. But instead of her internalizing that, she lashed out. That's Shikari 101. Anytime somebody says anything, it's just let me lash out. So let me show you, Leo, you can throw that up there now. I know I've been like teasing you. But this is what a user said on their post. And Shikari basically retweeted it. And she said, the user said, everybody want to give advice in the media, but none of them actually take time to speak to her outside the media. So I feel her. Stop speaking on me when you don't even speak to me. Which Shikari, of course, as you can see there, she posted that to her story and said, good humbling morning, y'all. I could not have said it better myself. Yeah, you could. You could have addressed this entirely differently, because she's missing the point. And just because somebody chooses to miss the point with you, don't mean that because y'all collectively missed the point that all of a sudden y'all are right. Y'all both wrong in this situation. I hate to break it down to you. And then she posted this to her story as well, that says y'all haven't even seen half of me. Okay, we'll believe that, because you've been out here not doing everything you told us you would do. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have with Shikari Richardson on this one. Because when you have someone like Usain Bolt and then Allison Felix, that she dogged her as well. And Allison was like, hey guys, let's just stand by her, give her some support. She's going to be in this business for a long time. Allison has 7 gold medals. She's got her own shoe deal. She's an entrepreneur. She got a book. Like, she is leagues above you. Neither one of these people even had to address you. When they asked you, what do you think about Shikari? They could have been like, she's not even in my league. I don't even want to talk about her. Then y'all would have said that was hate. So there's no win in this situation for anyone who has anything positive to say, because believe it or not, I believe what Usain was saying is positive. So here's what is really peculiar to me. So when I went to her Instagram this morning, right before the show, I noticed that she had posted this, and I want you guys to see this, because this bothered me. This bothered me a lot. Because I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying, y'all can't be taking these Kobe quotes and using them like y'all use the Bible and just cherry pick the scriptures that work for you, because you 9 times out of 10, when you do that, you ain't reading it right. So that's what's happening here. She says, Mamba mentality. Learn to love the hate, embrace it, enjoy it. You earned it. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and everyone should have one about you. Haters are good. A good problem to have. Nobody hates the good ones. They hate the great ones. There's a ton of problems with this. There's a ton of problems with her using this quote from Kobe Bean Bryant and trying to make that about her. Number one, you're the 6th fastest. 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not giving no awards for the 6th fastest. That's number one. Number two, you better go back and check them tapes, because every time Kobe was on the floor with Michael Jordan, Kobe was walking up to Michael Jordan and asking him, hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? He was literally pestering Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't call Kobe and say, hey, you just got in the league. I feel like I need to mentor you. That's not how that relationship grew. That relationship did grow, but it grew because Kobe initiated it. Kobe was the one that was like, okay, every time you do something on me, you're going to teach me how to do it so I can do it to somebody else. He saw greatness in somebody else and he wanted to embrace that greatness. So he initiated that relationship. You got Allison over here on the Jimmy Kimmel show talking about we need to embrace you and we need to give you the support, and you shade her instead of putting this call out to her and saying, hey, you said that people should embrace me. Can I pick your ear? Can I ask you some things? Can you come to the track with me and train with me for a little while? You got Usain Bolt out here who lives rent-free in our heads. Every time we talk about somebody fast, we always go to Usain Bolt. You have him saying, hey, don't talk that talk now. Be about your training life right now, and then come back, and when you win, talk that talk. It's 6 degrees of separation. Y'all are in the same circle of people. You better call that man and say, hey, can you put your money where your mouth is and help me train? The onus falls on you because you the one out here need the help. Yes, we can wish you well from afar, but I don't owe you a phone call. I've already said you need to train. If you think I can help you train, you call me. You initiate me. You be Kobe and initiate that relationship. But don't use the Mamba mentality when you've yet to prove that you have the Mamba mentality. You need to do better. This is not me hating. This is me giving you criticism. And that's all it is. And no, Ty says, can't we just ignore it? We could, but we won't. Because I think at the end of the day, most of us, not all of us, of course, there's some people that just don't like the girl. Most of us do want her to be exactly who she says she's going to be. But the only way that I feel she can do that is if she does exactly what Usain Bolt tells her to do and be quiet and train. Because guess what? When you come out there and you win and then you talk this talk, oh, we ain't going to have nothing to say. We ain't going to have nothing to say. We're going to be like, that's what you do, girl. You talk your stuff after you win that race. But not right now. You're saying too much. You're talking too much. That's just me. I know some of y'all probably disagree. But if I can give you one piece of advice to help you through your life, you really do need to learn the difference between hate and criticism. They are not mutually exclusive. They are vastly different. And if you can learn to accept the criticism, it will help you. You can take nuggets of that and say, okay, I appreciate that. Let me take this part. Okay, you said I need to train harder. Let me reach out to you so you can help me train. It'll help you immensely get to the place that you want to go. That's all I got for what we're not going to do, you guys. I appreciate you guys rocking with me for this half hour. I know we usually do it. I've done an hour by myself, but I can't do it today. I wasn't ready. So thank y'all. Y'all enjoy your Taco Tuesday. Make sure you stay tuned and hit that notification bell because we do have some more videos coming out later on in the day. And then make sure you're back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow me at JRay the Fanatic. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.